Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Welcome to Phenomenal Leadership. This is Bishop-elect Edlin Scott, and I'm really excited, as always, to be a part of your lives on our broadcast. So I want you to reach out to your friends and let them know that we are live with another session of Phenomenal Leadership. Share it, like and share, like and share. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Really excited about being here. I want to thank God because He's my refuge and strength. He's my very present help in the times of trouble. Without Him, I can't do anything. Without God, I will surely fail. Without Him, my life will indeed be hopeless. But I want to thank God for all that He is and all that He continues to be. Again, this is Phenomenal Leadership. Yes, this is Phenomenal Leadership. And we are excited, as always, to bring the broadcast to you. So, what is it we're going to be talking about tonight? Well, the topic for tonight is making growth happen. Making growth happen. Is growth automatic? Is growth something that do nothing, it'll just happen? One thing is certain. If nothing else happens to you, if you do nothing, you will get older. But growth isn't automatic. And so you want to hang with me tonight as we explore making growth happen. That's the topic for tonight. So reach out to your friends, your colleagues, share this with somebody so that they can be blessed by it. Phenomenal Leadership is designed to sharpen the skills of leaders. Sharpen the skills of leaders. Everyone has the potential. Everyone has the potential. Everyone has been given the potential. Do you know successful people only get 24 hours in a day? People that are not successful get the same 24 hours. What differs between the both group is what you do with your 24. So hang here with me. Let's see where this goes. Now, on this coming Saturday, I am probably not going to be doing Morning Glory for the simple fact that I do have a funeral. One of our elders of transition, Elder Joseph Russell, one of the members of our church, he have transitioned and gone on to be with the Lord. His funeral will be this coming Saturday. So more than likely I wouldn't be doing Morning Glory this coming Saturday because I'm speaking at the funeral. And then I also want to share my condolences with one of our pastors out of our church in Long Island. Her husband died on this past Saturday. And so later on in the month, I'm sure the announcement of the funeral will be. And so I want to send my condolences out to Pastor Lillian Adley and the death of her husband, Alfred Adley. All right, let's go get into it. Making growth happen. Making growth happen. How do I make growth happen? Is it easy? Is it hard? What is it? Well, number one, in order for growth to happen, you have to make a commitment to intentional growth. You have to make a commitment towards intentional growth. Kind of like when we were kids. I am certain 60% of us didn't want to go to school. 60% of us did not want to go to school. But our parents was intentional about our education, and so they made sure that we went. 60% of us felt like we knew everything that we needed to know. But again, because of the intentionalness of our parents insisting upon us listening, insisting upon us going to school, therefore, today we can appreciate the efforts that they placed in education for us. So, in order for growth to happen, you must be intentional behind it. You could sit down and say, I am going to lose weight. I'm going to eat healthy. And all of these things could run through your head. Until you get intentional about it, absolutely nothing is going to happen. When you become intentional about it, then something's going to happen. Here's the thing. A couple of weeks ago, I was having little struggles with my knees. And so I went to see the doctor, and I really thought something really was going on with my knees. And so the doctor said to me, your knees really isn't your problem. Your knee is your problem because your legs are too weak. Above your knees, the muscles above your knees, and beneath your knees. And therefore, because they are so weak, then all the pressure is going on your knees. And so she said, but I'll tell you, if you start exercising your legs, then it'll take the pressure off the knees and you'll feel better. Because my bedroom is upstairs, I had to get intentional about my healing as relates to my knees. And so I started doing the little exercises that she offered. And she said to me, can you promise me you're going to be intentional about these exercises? Because if not, then I have to assign you to a therapist so that they can ensure that you do it. And because I really didn't want the therapist and I needed to get upstairs to my bedroom, I got intentional about my little exercises and took the pressure off my knees because it actually worked. So, in order for growth to happen, you have to be intentional about your growth. You have to be very serious about it. The second thing about making growth happen is this. It can't be a secret. It cannot be a secret. If it is a secret, then more than likely you'll just drop it or it just not go on. A shared commitment becomes a strong commitment. When I was working on my degree, so I told my wife, and whenever she don't see me studying, she asks, are you still continuing with the classes or are you still getting on with it? And so even when I didn't want to do it, because she got on me to do it, it helped me do it. So because I shared it. And so sometimes even people that are a part of your sharing can help you to stay focused on what is necessary. So number one, to make growth happen, one must be committed to be intentional about your growth. The second thing is, then you got to be committed to making it public. If you say right now, I'm going to lose weight, or I'm losing weight, and you make that public, then someone's going to watch you to see whether or not you're losing weight. Someone's going to watch what you're eating. Someone's going to the village is going to come together and help you make that happen. So, a shared vision that is shared with others, it becomes a strong vision because there's a lot more people have stakes in it because you shared it with them. The next thing that you got to do if you're determining to make growth happen is you have to decide what you want to grow. What do you want to grow? When I went to the doctor and she told me what muscles I need to work with, straight around my thighs, straight around my legs, she showed me what I needed to work with. If I wanted help with my knees, I couldn't be doing stuff with my arm or my trying to get six-pack abs or trying to get put muscles. My focus had to have been on where she told me I needed help with the knees, so I needed to work around the knees. You must identify where or what you want to grow. Now, in establishing this, I don't think you should go beyond 5, because sometimes you could be so involved in so many things that the progress is so slim that you really don't see it. And most of us need self-encouragement or self-motivation, and it comes about when we are successful in a lot of things that we do. It should be a minimum of 2, but no more than 5. Why do I say 2? Because there should be at least 2 things that you target. Number 1, you should target something that is attached to your skill, and then you should target something that is attached to your how do I put it? Something that you have to volunteer. Like, for instance, an attitude, right? An attitude is something you have to give up. A lot of times, or it is said, something is said that your gift can get you places where your attitude can't keep you. In other words, you could have a great gifting and it'll take you in front of millions, but a bad attitude will determine how long you stay in front of millions. So when you are contemplating growth, you must also contemplate behavior. I've seen people with, education covering, certificates covering a whole wall, and they lack soft skills. How to be polite, how to be nice, how to have a listening ear, how to look people in the eye when they're talking. Soft skills, and they just lack them. So when you are thinking about how to make growth happen, because it's not going to happen if you don't do nothing, you must consider either your gifting as one. It could be some other things. Your gifting as one, and your something that you have to volunteer up. Do you know something? If I want to hold somebody in, or if I hold unforgiveness, it means I decide I do not want to forgive that person. So a lot of our behavior is how either we see it, how we grew up, what our parents taught us. Is it the right way? Do you have a good attitude? I was talking to somebody the other day, and they said to me, my head ain't good. And for those you international people, what that simply means is the person, they could get a little crazy. Yeah. They could be a really nice person, a nice preacher, a nice teacher, a doctor, a lawyer, but they could get a little crazy, which doesn't make no sense. If you know you could get crazy, you could control your craziness. So in order to make growth happen, you have to highlight or focus in on a gifting. And a gifting could be, like for me, for instance, I am a public speaker. I'm a pastor, so I'm a public speaker. So my gifting, developing what I need to see growth in my life is the gift that I use the most. So since I'm a public speaker, I need to grow how to speak to people, how to connect with people, and I'm so blessed to have a wife with the level of education, the level of understanding, and the love for me that she has. And I say that because she is my biggest fan and, of course, my greatest critic. In a good sense. At the end of my sermons, at the end of my presentation, she would either ask, "How do you feel?" And then she would go through, because her area of expertise has a lot to do with public speaking and making public presentations and that kind of thing. So she understands that, and being a teacher by profession, she understands the importance of connecting with people. And so, if I am determining an area of growth and I'm looking at public speaking, I need to determine what I say, how I say, and what effect it has on people. Sometimes what you say can run everybody out of the room. Then it can settle everybody in the room based on what you say. So finding out what gifting that you have, target that, developing that. How do I make that better? How do I stop talking when people are leaving the room? Do I stop talking when people are falling asleep in the room? Do I stop talking when people are just talking and when I notice that I don't have their attention? What do I do? One of my mentors, Apostle Leon Wallace, said to me one time, he says, always make sure that people is excited that you stood and sorry that you start. Not sorry that you stood and glad that you sit. Think about it. So, two things: target your gifting, and it could be some other things, your gifting and your attitude. Because attitude could be a whole lot of things. Some of our attitude could be, I don't like to be bothered with people. I like to be by myself. Is that a good trait for a leader? We're not tolerant. A lot of leaders can stand up and talk for 90 minutes, but can't listen for 5. Is that fair? If you cannot sit and listen to me for 5 minutes, why do you feel that I should listen to you for 90 minutes? We're saying the same thing, same content. So identify the area that you want to grow and work specifically on that. Identify your skill that you want to develop and your choice that you want dealt with. Every day, spend at least 1 hour working on your choice, your attitude, or your skill. Every day. If you want to be intentional about your growth, you can't do it when you get the time. You have to make time for it. You can't get to it when you get to it. You have to make it a part of your schedule if you want to be intentional about growth. Every day, spend at least an hour in dealing with those two areas. So what should I be doing? What should I be doing within that hour every day? Preparation, practice, and reflection. Preparation, practice, and reflection. I stole this teaching from John Maxwell. I was listening to him, and I stole this teaching from him. because it made a whole lot of sense. For your skill or for your choice, your attitude, what you decide to drop, what you trying to make better, you got to prepare for it. Prepare. If you're going to be a good speaker, you have to research. You're not going to automatically stand up there and know everything that you need to know. Go do some research. Prepare yourself. Do some roll call with yourself in some different scenarios. Trust me, you could have your game together, but someone could just rub you the wrong way and throw you off the game. So do some role play within yourself, so that whatever it takes to make you act bad or cause your head act bad, put yourself in those scenarios so that it doesn't happen. One of the things leaders do not understand, or leaders need to understand, is as a leader, it automatically puts everybody's eyes on you. And because everybody's eyes on you, you're already an imperfect being. And for you to have things about you that does not depict what leadership is all about makes the thing even worse. So, every day you got to prepare, then not just prepare for what's going to happen, you got to practice. You watch other people speak, watch how they connect, watch how they do things, and you figure whether that can work for you. Or is that one of my greatest surprises in life is that no matter which leader you listen to, there are a lot of great leaders out there that has made a really indelible mark upon the earth, right? No matter which one you listen to, the idea of leadership is still the same. The way it is done is still the same. Now, they may use different words, but they all mean the same. And that was my greatest surprise, because I just thought that everybody had the idea about leadership varies from one person to the next. Leadership is all about helping people. It's all if you do it in Chinese, it's about helping people. If you do it in Indian, it's about helping people. If you do it in Creole, it's about helping people. If you do it in Bahamian, it's about helping people. And no matter where you go, it's all about helping people. Leadership is not helping yourself, not self-serving. It is serving others. In order to make growth, or in order to foster growth, you must learn how to journal journal is a bigger game. Let's talk about jotting instead of journaling. The journal is about writing. I see my wife to do it. Every day she just write down every single thing that goes on during the day. I mean, I pray for her. That's a gift from God. So for us, let me just jot down words. And you know what I find? I find that every day there are things that will pop in your head. There are words that mean something. There are words that open doors to something else. And if you don't jot them down, by the end of the week you will forget them. Because remember, to grow has to do with every day you prepare, you practice, and you reflect. So if you don't jot down anything to reflect upon, then I don't know it correctly, but it speaks to that the shortest pencil is better than, I don't care whatever kind of memory you have, because it'll save more, it'll remember more by writing it down. And so in order for you to have something to reflect, you got to jot. And I'm saying that every day because sometimes words will come in my head And if I don't write it down, I be trying to really hit my head against the wall, trying to figure out, remember what it was I said, what it was that was said to me. But if you jot, if you become a jotter, just jot down words, you could later reflect on those words and see what it means, and then that could probably lead you to journaling. And then you go from there to something else. All right. The final thing that I want to say to you tonight as I wrap up is you have to find someone to share your growth with. As you grow. And I didn't understand that. I met Dr. Paul Kreitz. I can't remember which year I met him. He died now. He's gone on to be with the Lord. And he said to me, if you only talk to two people, whatever you have in your spirit, share that with two people. And I didn't understand the power of it until I started to do it. Now, do not, if you share something with me today and I'm not interested, don't find somebody else. Do not spend time with anyone who are not thrilled about your success. Don't waste time. If someone don't want to talk your language, they don't want to talk about if you're sharing, some of the things that makes us happy, and they're not interested in it, don't waste time with that, because the possibility or the probability of making growth happen there really doesn't exist. But if someone is open to hear what you have to say, you talk to them today and you get them tomorrow, call them again. Hey, man, listen, let me tell you what I read about today. This is what happened to me today. And you share it, and it brings about an exciting tune. All right? So, tonight we were talking about making growth happen. Number one, make a commitment towards intentional growth. Number two, do not make that commitment private. Make it a public. Let everybody know. Put it on your Facebook. Put it in your status. Tell all your friends. Tell someone who live with you so they can watch you to make sure that you really on focus on what it is that you're trying to do. Identify areas that you want to grow in. Start with at least two. One is your skill and the other is your choice or your character. Something you got to give up. Something that you got to make better. And then every day, spend time developing those two areas with at least an hour. You do that by preparation, practice, and reflection. Prepare, research, whatever it is that you've learned. Faith without works is dead. It's wanting to hear it. I don't believe in just giving people information. I want to give information that leads to transformation. So you prepare, you practice it, and then you reflect. You reflect on whether it worked. It didn't work. What do I do to make it work? What they did that got it work that I'm not doing to get it work. Then every week, spend some time reflecting on your whole week. Was I successful? Was I wasting time? Or what do I need to do different? Anything that's great can be greater. Share with somebody. Don't waste time sharing with people what are not excited about what's going on in your life. Thank you so very much for sharing with us tonight. Appreciate all of you. Listen, hey, oh boy, I actually forgot this, the entire broadcast. We're having a celebration Sunday, June 30th. It's my birthday. Yeah, it's my birthday. And in the morning glory service at 7 a.m., we're going to be celebrating. I'm going to be celebrating another milestone in my life. I really thank God for where God has brought me from. all the things that He's brought me through, all the things that He's doing in my life. I really thank God so much for it. And on Sunday, the 30th of June, I am celebrating my birthday. I thank God for all that He's done. And He's doing some great things, Judy, in my life. And I thank God so much for what He's doing. Those of you that are in the city of Nassau, come on, 7 o'clock Sunday morning. We start at 7 and we're always done by 8:30, 8:45 at the very latest. So if you need to go to your church, you can still go to your church afterwards. Those of you out of town like to send a love gift, there are a couple of ways on the screen that you can do so. Zelle or PayPal, it's Edlin Scott at AOL.com. Cash App, it's Edlin Scott. You can send your gift. But thank you so very much. God bless you. Sunday is Father's Day. You'll hear from us again on Sunday, which is Father's Day. All right? God bless you. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening.